Hello, my fellow Canadians. You know who it is, yours truly, King of Charisma, Shaman of Swagger, Carter James the Milic Master, sitting here in a beautiful Red Deer Chapters / Starbucks. My favorite one at that. I want to do that video blog that I promised. First and foremost, I want to discuss a few things regarding the death of Robin Williams and the recent status I put on my Facebook. I think some people have been a little bit upset, have disagreed with me, and have taken offense to my remarks. And I would like to clear up a few things and a few mischaracterizations regarding what was said and done. To begin with, regarding what I said in my status, one would begin with the premise that I have no sympathy or compassion for a human life, or more importantly, for the human quality of a life. Because I said specifically in that status that maybe if only he had dieted, exercised, had a better quality of life, he'd probably still be with us today. Suicide is no laughing matter. I do not condone suicide. I don't wish for anybody to commit suicide, and I really wish that he himself, Robin Williams, did not commit suicide. In 63 years, he accomplished a lot. He engaged in incredible movies, incredible comedic performances, was a devoted and beloved husband, father, and above all, human being. It sickens me sometimes when I see things plastered online where, where it reads, here's why suicide is not selfish, here's why, depression is no laughing matter, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to see a suicide note to call something a suicide. I do not need to read, in great detail as to why Robin Williams did these things or why people speculated why he killed himself. It's just that, when I see a person who has had great success in his or her life, for them to squander their own life, it's hard for me to respect anybody who engages in such an act like that. I respect the life of Robin Williams, but I do not respect the way he killed himself. And I will not keep my mouth shut when I see certain things like that happen. Especially when I have been preaching the all, the profound all, and the beautiful belief that I have that we are not built as human beings, aka imperfect rational animals with big brains that have the power to reason, to go out into the world and squander it, and to squander the lives of others. Some have believed that I am judgmental in saying the things I said in that recent status. Well, at the end of the day, everybody innately is judgmental. We've all been judgmental in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I think this is a terrible tragedy for anybody to end their life because they're either really, really depressed, whether they have mental illness, whatever the case is. It's not something to joke about. It's not the butt of a joke. It's a very serious issue. And we need to spread more awareness. And Robin Williams' suicide is a prime example of that. I mean, of course, the question still remains, why? Why would a 63-year-old man who has a huge chunk of change in the bank, who has an incredible support system, wife, kids, friends, acquaintances, who was entering the 12-step program, from what I read and found out, I mean, what was the last thing that would have made him snap? What was the last thing that made him say, you know what, I want to leave this world, I can't take it anymore? For him to cut his wrists, for him to take the belt, hang it around his neck, and hang himself, from the sources that I read and found out about. It's quite frightening. And I don't wish for anybody, especially for the younger generation, people who are younger than me, to have to believe that that's the best way out if you can't take it anymore, if you can't hack it. I respect the body of work that Robin Williams had. I respect the man he was. I respect him being immortalized in the lives of others. He has touched so many lives, and he has done such great things in this world and for this world, performing for the troops, spreading awareness, and to give all of us a good laugh. I'm so glad that he appealed to kids in movies such as Aladdin, Hook, Jumanji, Jack, you name it. But he also can appeal to adults as well in movies such as Good Will Hunting, Jacob the Liar, Good Morning Vietnam, Bicentennial Man, you name it. And all his line of work, in my mind, is truly and extremely respectable. And I'm really glad that there's a phenomenal outpouring of people who have said such beautiful things about him in his life. It's just hard for me to respect anybody who wants to squander their lives. And in my opinion, that is exactly what Robin Williams did. Some people wonder all the time how come so many of these former talents have passed away at a premature age. You know, people like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Mr. Belushi, whatever, Jim or John Belushi, whatever his name was, Chris Farley, Elvis Presley, you name it. It wasn't just, the last cocktail of drug use, alcoholism, or suicides that put an end to it all at one last time. In my opinion, it was also the guilt, the depression, and the dying of their spirits on the inside. Meaning their joy, their excitement, their drive, their passion, their zest, their enthusiasm for life and about the beautiful challenges and experiences it has to offer. And to step up and use the beautiful discipline and creativity that they once used to gain that celebrity, fortune, and fame. They didn't take it, they didn't channel it and put it into something else, more productive and positive for their lives. And once a person loses that, that is by far a greater damage to one's being than anything a person can do to his or herself physically or mentally. I just highly believe that. You don't have to believe that. I'm not trying to force feed you what I believe. I'm just saying with a clear conscience, I believe that there have been those who have died, not just of their suicides or their drug binges or their alcoholic addictions, but also because their spirits were weakened. I don't believe with a pure conscience that when Robin Williams killed himself, he was performing that with a high frequency of high and positive energy. No way. That does not fly right with me. And I'm not suggesting that anybody has said that. I just wish he were still with us to see the phenomenal qualities of life out there that could probably have inspired him. Maybe he was inspired by them, but maybe he just couldn't hack it anymore. We really don't know. All it is right now, it is speculation, some of it asinine, some of it observed. Who knows? I just hope that Robin Williams' death can teach a person who is contemplating suicide or wants to find an easy way out that, hey, this is not the way to do it. That is just not the way to do it. There's always a chance and there's always a choice. And of course, there are always ways of calling an 800 number or attending AA meetings or whatever to get yourself the help you need. I'm not asking you, I am begging you that if you feel any intention or desire to kill yourself because you just can't take it, whatever the case is, if no one has told you that you're worth it, I'm here as the king of charisma, shaman of swagger, Neil Master to say, your life matters. It is time to start living, and it does matter life. You're worth it. Everything about you is worth it. Today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. That's why I'm so inspired by people like Jack LaLanne, who lived a full life till the age of 96, who preached that the rest of your life is the best of your life. Your waistline is your lifeline. If you obey nature's laws, you'll be born again. He practiced what he preached. I admire men like that who live a full and happy life. People like Nelson Mandela, who at an advanced age became prime minister or president of South Africa and spoke out against the killing of his own people in his beloved nation. The things that he believed in made him immortalized in the lives of others, not just South Africans or Africans in general, but everybody. He lived a full life till the age of 95. And in a living legend right now, Doris Day, at the age of 90, she says at the age of 90 she still, sings around the house. That's pretty cool for a 90-year-old woman who has had a phenomenal success in her life. Left 30 years ago and is still living to the best of her potential at 90 years of age. God bless women like Doris Day, who bring it to life, who bring their life to life. There's always a chance and a choice. There's always a way out. I'm asking all of you who are tuned in right now, please don't go out like how Robin Williams did. I'm not trying to be insensitive towards his death. I just can't respect the way he left this earth. His body of work is amazing, and I'm pretty sure his life was amazing. I just don't agree with his past cocaine addiction, his alcoholism, and the severe illnesses he had. And above all, it's hard for me to respect any kind of agenda, a person's agenda, when they don't consider the serious as well as extreme consequences when it comes to the choices they're getting ready to make. And that's how I feel about all that. So once again, for anybody who was upset, took offense, or just flat out disagreed with my remark on Facebook regarding the death of Robin Williams, I apologize, but it is what it is. If you still disagree with me, that is fine. I am not offended, and I will be mindful and not a bigot towards anybody who has an opposing opinion on me. That is just fine. Anyways, now to all of you who have known me or have heard of me in Red Deer. I want to say first and foremost, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. No, thank you, thank you, thank you. My time here has been nothing short of magical. Yes, I was born here, April 5th, 1989, in that big, huge hospital downtown with a big H on it, which I love and admire and am so passionate about to this day. But I was never raised here until June 1st of last year. So, I mean, for me to come back to my hometown and being a stranger to it, it was a very interesting experience because I've been raised in the States all my life. 6 weeks after I was born, my family and I moved to the state of Oregon in the United States. Then 4 years later, right after my sister was born, we moved to Florida, and we lived there for 6 years. Then after that, we moved to Denver, Colorado, or to the Denver metro area of Colorado, and lived there for 10 years, or at least I have anyway. Then I came back here for about a month or so in 2010, moved down to Utah on and off for 3 years, and now I'm back here and about ready to leave for a magical journey to Los Angeles, California, to pursue a career in entertainment. For all of you who have seen me, whether it be face to face, have seen me walking backwards through town with that balloon hat on. It's a great way to challenge convention, I swear to God. And but also for those of you who have had wonderful in-depth talks with me, whether it be online, face to face, or otherwise, Red Deer and the people in it, you have been nothing short of miraculous in every way. I mean, I would call you out by name, but what's more important is addressing you as a whole. But also, there are, just like in any city, like in any town or state or province or whatever, there's always going to be a flaw, whether it be in quality of character, whether it be in culture, whatever standard setting there is out there or otherwise. And there are flaws in Red Deer. Let's not kid ourselves. There is a serious lack of open-mindedness, I believe. I believe that there is a serious deterioration with quality of character. I think that, you know, the thing with Alberta, there really is no happy medium between a boom and a bust, and I'll get into that just in a minute. But for me, it seems as if there is a really small chunk of open-mindedness here. I think that, you know, there's a lot of people who like to judge each other, you know, in very ruthless, pathetic, degrading, and shameful ways. I feel like some people really need to get out more here. I think we need to experience more. I'm not saying, well, if you have the money, go see Vegas and Mexico. You know, I'm not talking about trips like that. I'm not talking about, you know, going to resorts where everything's taken care of for you. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you young kids who are starting out in the oil field can provide for yourselves and can afford such phenomenal trips. But I'm saying about getting out and about, the places that you're very unfamiliar with. It's easier said than done, yes, but I encourage you, my fellow Red Deerians, my fellow Canadians, to really experience life as much as you can and get out of the ordinary. Leaving your comfort zone is pure torture sometimes. Believe me, I've been there. In my 25 years, I have experienced a lot. I've experienced triumphs. I've experienced negativity. I've experienced setbacks, false starts, but I've also experienced uplifting, positive vibes that I do my absolute best to engage in every day. And I wish for all of you, you know, whether you worked it with me at the company Red L, hi guys, if you've you know, seen me on the streets and said hey, especially as I was walking backwards with that balloon hat on, bubble wrap hat on, if you will, if you have, you know, engaged in a one-on-one conversation with me I really wish for you guys that you will continue to pursue a phenomenal way and high quality of life, because the rest of your life is the best of your life. And the writing's on the wall, guys. The writing is on the wall. There will come a time in your lives where, as you get older in your wisdom and in your stature, that it will come a time where it's time to get away from the silliness, from the superficial stuff. And me too. I mean, I think that we as human beings, especially in our culture, we spend so much time on the superficial stuff that really will have no merit in several years from now, if we're so fortunate to live that long, and not enough on the things that really are important, the things we really have got to get done to give our lives meaning, purpose, merit, worth. And when I see a lot of drama going on, whether it be on the superficiality of social media, whether it be at clubs like Lotus, the Gents Club, nightclubs, wherever they may be in this world, I mean, it's really upsetting. It's really degrading and shameful. And let's not kid ourselves. It's very unfortunate. And I'm asking for a better decorum. I am urging all my fellow Red Deerians and Canadians to develop a stronger decorum for your own personal lives, not for the lives of others. Don't brainwash people. I'm not into brainwashing. I'm all in for mind power. Please use your minds to the best of your ability. Some people have claimed that I am angry in my blogs. I sounded very angry or very wound up. Well, here's the thing. As Carter James Militmaster, I'm always on. There's no anger in me towards anybody. But there has been frustration, there has been some shame, and there has been some disappointment on my part. And I want to see my fellow human beings do well. I do. I'm like a positive vibe rebel. Because let's face it, also, there are very, very few legitimate tough guys in this world, whether it be male or female. I would say about 3 million out of the 7 billion in the world's population are legitimately tough, and this is not including, soldiers in war. I mean, I really do believe that there are very, very few. And the rest of us get to play that role. Whether we're actors, in Hollywood, whether we're hiding behind an image in social media or otherwise, or we're just all talk and we really can't back up our mouths. There's only very, 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 very few legitimate tough guys, and there's a lot of actors. There's a lot of all talkers, so to speak. So let's focus less on the clicks, less on the labels, and more on giving ourselves worth, titles, enthusiasms for our lives, minds, personages, auras that will have merit. I for one, this might not go for you, but I for one believe that everybody has a unique, one-of-a-kind, and extraordinary destiny to fulfill. No matter the odds they face, no matter the challenges, the circumstances of their lives, I feel we all have a right to fulfill our one-of-a-kind destinies. And I hope in every capacity that you fulfill yours, whatever that may be, if you believe in such a thing. And to all the folks on the oil field, you do make a lot of money. A lot of you, maybe some of you have dropped out of high school, and it's like why should I go to college if I'm making all this money? Well, in 20 years' time, you may not be living off $100,000 a year. If you think you're going to be making it, one year I'm making $100,000, well, this might happen to me for the next 20 years. So, some people go into the oil fields with that false expectation that I'll be making $100,000 for the next 20 years. In many cases, it doesn't work that way, guys. Please give yourself a realist expectation of what you really expect on those oil fields. They are tough as nails. Because the majority of the leaders there, they don't care about you. Let's not kid ourselves. The majority of them don't give a fucking shit. They're there to work, as are you. I'm just asking for you guys to find some manners out there. Find a better decorum. Please. Treat your fellow men out there and women out there with respect, with dignity, with humility, because I feel like there is, at times, a lack thereof of that. Please, rise up and be something, that is positive in those oil fields. Because there have been times where it hasn't always been positive. Recognition and support from others is nice, but the real satisfaction is getting the job done at the task at hand. And I learned that at Red L, where I used to work. Getting the job done at the task at hand is amazing. And I hope that you guys are doing that positively and awesomely too. To all my fellow Red Deerians, to everybody who, whether you work in the oil fields, whether you work in town or otherwise, I'm really going to miss you. It was an honor to come back to my hometown, the place where I was born, to build up my mind, my personage, and my aura, because when I came back here, I was a broken down human being. I was a 24-year-old nothing when I came back here. I was lifted up again by my fellow Canadians, by my fellow human beings, and I am glad that I can be something again. We're an amazing, extraordinary world with extraordinary positive vibes. And I challenge all of you to have the ability to lead and inspire those who are looking for positive vibers. Because I, for one, as the Nillik Master, I don't seek followers. I seek fellow leaders who choose to be the best of the potential they have and not the worst. So to end this, be the best of the potential you have, not the worst. Stay Nillik forever young and champions. I love you all. God bless. Take care of yourselves and each other. The power is always on. Bring it. Later.